Welcome to the Church Sound Podcast, where kingdom culture, real life, and technology intersect. I'm your host, Prentice Thompson, along with the pastor, Caleb Winley. We're here to help you get through Sunday. Did you hear the pastor? What about your live streams, social media? We provide solid solutions for all of your multimedia needs. Let's learn something today. Let's go.
Pastor Caleb Winley, guys, how you doing out there?
Yes, and my man is batting 1,000 today.
Bro.
1,000.
Swinging,
today.
man. I'm swinging, man.
It's baseball season. It's baseball
no doubt.
season. Hey, listen, welcome to another episode of the Church Sound Podcast. We indeed enjoy doing this and enjoy doing this with you.
Yeah.
So before we get started, let's pay some bills. How about we
Exactly.
do that? Let's thank our sponsor, Metro Podcast Studio. Metro Podcast Studio is a podcast studio located in New York City, but they do remote recording, in-studio recording, post-production, mixing.
Anything.
Video recording, audio recording. Anything and everything that you need to do for your podcast and make your podcast a professional sounding podcast. Hit them up, metropodcaststudio.com for all of your podcasting needs.
Mm-hmm.
Today's topic is a rather interesting one.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is the message. This is the message I'm going to pass it now. You go to the book of the topic of show number 57 is message to a pastor.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the things that we want to say.
Yeah.
The things that we like to discuss, the things that we're appreciative of.
Right.
Because we understand that, pastors, that's a tough job.
It is.
It's a tough job. It's a lot of moving parts. It's funny, is like, as a film director, I found out there was a lot of moving parts in the film business when I started doing film. And I'm pretty sure a lot of pastors didn't realize all of the moving parts until they started being a pastor.
Right.
So this is a message to a pastor. And we want to be able to share this. So this way, it may be someone that's listening to this that's in the AVL department, that have these types of questions they like answered and the things they like to see, and how do you start dialogue, and how do you move past, and what needs to happen, and what's great and what's bad, and how can we discuss it openly to move forward, and what's the goal and how do we get there. All these things are very, very important when we mention pastors, and we talk about just leadership in general. You know. So before we get started, those of you who listen to our show for the first time, we do this thing called Sunday School. Now, Sunday School are the funny stories that we have in church, that we deem funny to us and hopefully to the world at large.
Yep.
So, and with that being said, let's get down with Sunday School.
Come on.
And I am
Time for Sunday School.
the man on the mic. I am the man of God who has sharpened his sword with a pack of tissue paper. I'm ready. I am ready. I am ready and standing ready. So I have my 3 points, young man.
Yes, sir. Let me get them.
Points number one. Points number one is, Pastor, are you in there?
Pastor?
Are you in there?
Wow.
That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, TikTok.
All right.
Number three, the air up there. So let me repeat. Number one, Pastor, you in there? TikTok, and the air up there.
Air up there. Air up there. Pastor, are you in there? Almost like knocking on the bathroom door.
Almost. Watch out now. Watch out now.
Okay. And TikTok, before TikTok, obviously.
Oh, before TikTok is simply marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous.
The air up
The
there.
air up there.
I think I like that. I think we're gonna do the air up there. Yeah.
The air up
like
there for 49, 59, 49, 2003. Here we go.
2000.
I found this story very hilarious, and those of you who are in AV department in any sort of audio, you will find this to be completely hilarious as much as I did. I'm going to try to contain myself. When I get through this story. So
all right.
Put your hand this way. Yes, I need the peace of God to be like a mantle on my shoulders. Okay, thank you so much. I felt that in my shana. Right. Okay, right. Here we go.
Nah.
Yes. So, as you know, I get a lot of phone calls from people wanting advice on the equipment they should obtain and lead them and guide them to things you should do, not do. Just advice. Period. Equipment.
Right.
Not just life. Just equipment in your church and the things that you need to move your ministry forward. So I did that. And I suggested a product to an individual who showed remain nameless.
Okay.
The Lord help me, Jesus. Hopefully he doesn't hear this. And hopefully he or she doesn't hear this.
Okay, that's right. There you go.
As neutral as possible. So I got a phone call. This happened today. This happened today.
Oh, this is real.
This is hot off the press. This hot.
Wow.
Hot fire. So I get a phone call, and the person says, "I got the microphone that you suggested. It's the wireless microphone you suggested, and I have it all set up." I'm like, okay, great. So yeah, I have, and I have the mic in my hand. I'm looking at the thing, the router that it's plugged to.
Already.
I'm looking at the router that is plugged to, and I see the meters jumping up on the router because I'm talking into the mic. I was like, okay. He said, but I don't hear anything. I was like, what do you mean you don't hear anything? He says, yeah, I'm looking at the meter. And he's like, yo, I don't understand. Like, what part of this you don't understand? And I'm like, I'm taking it back. So, oh dear. Oh, have I touched the nerve? Oh, golly gee willikers. I don't know what the heck is going on here. But yeah. I said, well, this is backtrack and let's try to find out exactly what's going on. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so I have the mic in my hand. I'm speaking into it. Okay. I see the meters on the router. I said, hold up. It's called the receiver, and you have a transmitter. So the transmitter is transmitting to the receivers. This way we're speaking the same language. Okay, great. So I'm speaking into the microphone, and the router, the receiver, I'm seeing the things going up, so I know that it's getting sound. Okay. But I can't hear it. I said, you can't hear it. I said, what's it plugged to? He said, what do you mean what is it plugged to? I said, what is it plugged to? But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't hear it. I said, but what speaker is it plugged to? Like, how are you using this? I said, what do you mean? Because it's wireless. I just can't make this up.
Oh my
he said, I'm sorry, he, she, them, they said it's wireless. So I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, right, it's a wireless system. Like where's your sound reinforcer? What is it plugged into? Why do I need to plug it up to anything? Because it's wireless. So I said, okay. So I'm saying, have you ever gone to a concert? I said, yes. And have you ever seen people get on stage and you can hear the music and the person? I said, what do you normally see? The person with the microphone. I said, right. And they're speaking into the mic and I can hear it.
Right.
I said, but why can't you hear it? He said, because it's the microphone, because it's wireless. So I'm like, I said, but there's speakers on stage, right? You see the speakers and sound protruding from the speakers.
Oh
I said, but it's plugged. He said, so you mean to tell me it's plugged to the speakers? I said, where are you expecting to come from the air? Like, what do you think? Like, you fucking to the mic, hello, and then like all of a sudden this sound arrives out of nowhere. I was like, no, it has to be plugged
it's
somewhere.
To the heavens. You don't know this,
brother?
No,
I don't know. Apparently I am not spiritually connected. I have no idea if this man's talking about. He has no idea what I'm talking about. I said, listen, if you have a microphone that's not wireless, and you have a wire plugged into it, where's the wire go? Then he goes, oh, so I gotta plug that into, but I don't have a speaker. I said, well, it's not gonna appear out of nowhere. But he's talking to me like I was like, what should I do? I said, get a speaker. Like, there's no other way to do this. I got a Bluetooth speaker. It can't connect wirelessly because it's wireless. It's wireless. It should connect to the Bluetooth. I said, okay, all right, let's back up. You pull your phone out and you have Bluetooth, right? And then you launch your Bluetooth. And you launch the Bluetooth in the device. Mm-hmm. It says connected, right? If you don't connect it, you can't hear anything, right? Right. So what you're saying, like the wireless mic is not. And the person was like, wow, I didn't know. This shows you the level. So there you have it. Sunday school.
Oh my.
The air up there.
Yeah. Or no air.
No air up there.
Because you lightheaded, brother. Why can't you get it?
It's wireless.
Wow. Wow, my God. Oh my God. It's funny, bro. The name shall be erased. But I had the opportunity to tell not two very old people, but two brothers right around my age, came to my spot and was like, yo, I need to send you something from my phone. Okay, cool. Send me what you need. How do I do that? Okay, I want you to send it to this email address right here. Just send it to the email address. Okay, I got you. I'll take care of it. A minute later, it's saying that you're not in my contact list.
Oh my gosh.
I said, let me ask you, why did you get a smartphone? Because clearly the phone is smarter than you. It's like, come on, brother. And then I had another one come right behind him with the same thing. How do I send you the email? How do you normally send emails?
Wow.
It's amazing, bro.
Wow.
It's amazing what we do certain things, but we don't get Apple and all these companies give you free classes. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with you. If somebody would just say, you know what, let me just go to YouTube and find out why my wireless mic is not coming out of my
router.
Not wired speakers.
My router.
My router. It's coming out my router. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes.
We need help.
Yeah, you know.
We all do.
We all do. We all need help. Amen,
We all
amen,
do.
amen, amen again.
We all do.
So let's get into our topic,
Yeah.
which is a message to a pastor.
Message to pastor.
So I want to throw out one word, and I want
Okay.
you to respond to the word, then I'll respond to the word.
Okay, cool.
The first word that I think is very important, if I say a message to a pastor as an AV guy, the first word is trust.
Yeah. 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 And I think that is the number one issue as a pastor, you know, over a flock, over a congregation. You don't trust a lot. You don't trust a lot. Now, you shouldn't trust outsiders. But if you put somebody in position, in order to put them in that position, as a pastor, I first had to extend my level of trust in order to even put them in that position. But I find many pastors don't even trust the people they put in position. And that's amazing. So yeah, when I hear that word trust, that's the first thing that comes to mind. How there's a cavern there. There's something that's preventing us from really getting to. I see you and you see me, and I trust that you carry what God has given you for me. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know.
I think another side of that is empowerment.
Okay.
And I think an old pastor of mine told me, I've repeated this a lot, it's fire quickly, hire slowly. Quick, what's the word? What's the phrase? Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Okay.
So I think a lot of times we carry scars from, you know, being in church or organizations or work, or whatever. You carry that, and sometimes you respond out of that. So I think that's part of it. And then it's something that my old manager, I know I'm repeating a lot of people, would say is, as a manager of managing artists, it's never if they leave you.
Right.
It's not when, it's if. You know, it's like it's gonna happen.
Right.
So I think sometimes some pastors are hard to trust people because they don't know how long they're going to be around. So that could be a part of it.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say is that as an AV guy, is what I know for myself, I need your ear.
Right.
I need your ear. When I mixed at Calvary Revival Church in Virginia, it was 3 services. So it was a 7 a.m. service, it was a 9 a.m. service, and 11:30 service. After every service, I would go meet with the pastor and say, "Hey, listen, what went well? What went good? What do you need? How can I help you? What can I make you? How can I make you feel more comfortable? Is it good? Do you want me to keep it like that? Is there anything I need to change?" I would do that. Then I would go to the minister of music. Hey, anything I need to change? Anything you want me to adjust?
Right.
How did that feel to you? It felt good to me. How did it feel to you? I would go to the band. Hey, listen, before we start the service, like, anything you need to tell me?
That's
like,
good.
I changing anything in between song? Are you switching songs up? Are you says nah, P, or this? I heard this. Could you work with that? You know, so trust is built within communication.
Yeah.
But if your communication is cut off from the pastor, then you kind of taking a shot in the dark. You don't really know.
Yeah.
Like what's good and what's not good. You know when something's bad because everyone turns around and looks at you.
Sure.
But how can I help you?
Right.
Because I'm in service, you know, to the spirit and to you in the house, so that I can provide the best service I can for anyone who's presenting in any shape or form. So that kind of lends me to my second word,
Okay.
which I kind of delve into. It's listening. Because trusting is one thing.
Right.
Listening, whole other thing.
True. So true. Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. Because if it's one thing to trust somebody, but yeah, they're having that person's ear, that takes out, that's a whole different level of trust. And being able to, I think, as person that was, under a person that I trusted, if they ever felt like that person wasn't hearing me, it would erode your trust.
Mm-hmm.
Not only would it affect my trust, but it would affect my confidence. So every time I came back to that responsibility or, got up in the morning, positioning myself on a Sunday to go do this, but if you don't feel like the person's not hearing you, they're not listening to what you're saying, it's like, why am I doing this? Why do I even, you don't respect me enough to listen to me. And yet I respect you you want me to listen to you, right? I'm supposed to take that same word that you release, and I'm supposed to receive that, and I do. But where is the disconnect?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I open my mouth and say, "Well, man of God, if we did it, if we tried this, or if we did that," I wouldn't get the reciprocated. Let's try it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where was the breakdown? And I think a lot of AV individuals question that. Like, why can't we get past this place and really communicate properly?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. It does take a lot. So that's a whole nother level.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times it filters into your department leaders as well.
Right.
Because you have your pastor and you have your department heads.
Right.
Which leads it to my third point, appointing the right person.
Right. So true.
So you go from trust to listening to appointing the right person. And we dealt with this with the last episode we had with Sean Slaughter, good servant, wrong position.
Exactly. Yep.
And temperament is so key to the type of position that you hold.
Right.
The person that's working security does not have the same temperament as the greeter.
Right. Which is why he's in that position.
Right. You don't want your security person to have the same attitude as the greeter.
No. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
It's like, great servant.
Right.
Wrong position. Someone comes up and hey, Pastor, oh, welcome.
He's ready to tackle you.
Welcome to it. Yeah. And you want to use security, so a lot of times appointing the right person. And inside your department, it's you have to vet people. And you have to vet people. So I've been, in position. I can give you an example. I was mixing at a church, we should only remain nameless, and there was a new pastor who came to go from an old pastor, and this is like I found this out when I got there, and which is fine because that happens,
right?
And he wanted someone else to be the MD for the band. Mind you, he had a great MD. I mean, amazing MD.
Wow. Okay.
But he felt that because he couldn't control him, that he wanted to make a change.
Right.
So he picked someone who he could
manipulate.
Manipulate,
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
He was the weakest musician with the worst leadership skills.
Oh wow.
He hardly knew the songs.
Right.
I mean, literally, I would be muting this dude. I'm sorry, sir, whoever's listening. This being so bad today. I would be muting this person so I can listen to see if he caught on yet.
Sure.
So I'm looking to see if he's caught on yet. And you could tell he was trying to be a leader, but he wasn't one.
Right. He wasn't built that way.
Right. He wasn't built that way. The person that was a leader, who was an MD, who was still in the band, was gracious enough to let him lead without any disdain between them.
Wow.
He would just listen and say, okay, that's what you want to do? Okay, great. You want to do that? Okay. What else you want to do? But he would make him lead instead of him relying on him. So just do what we always do. No. You're leading. I need to know what you want.
Right.
It could have went sideways so quick, but long story short, like half of the band left.
Right. Yeah.
To the point they had a keyboard player and that was it.
Yeah, that happens.
And then to the point, they were singing the canned music.
Oh man,
no musicians.
Wow. Yeah, man. You see that a lot. It's funny when you was talking, and one thing that came in my spirit was that as a pastor, I have to be mindful, not to put my preferences on that person that I've put in position, and tell them, well, watch out. Look out, because what that does, that begins, me and that individual may not be getting along, or I may have seen something in the past that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And now I'm telling Joe, all right, Joe, look out for Beverly because, Sister Beverly, she's loud. Don't let her get at, she'll try to control you. She'll try to manipulate you. And we got to be very careful with that, because what that tends to do is it teaches me how to relate to you even without me knowing you. I think that that's something that happens, where I can't put my preferences in that person that I'm called to lead and be the guide over that particular team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's so key.
Right. I think appointing the right person, it can go awry, but things can be fixed once you realize that person is in the wrong position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of maturity.
Sure.
I think it goes back to my second point, a matter of listening.
Right.
And seeing how that department, whatever department that is, how that department is gelling and how that department is interacting with the other departments. And I think, which is why I say pastors, all the respect in the world, because there's so many moving parts. And the bigger your church, more moving parts you have, because more people, more problems. Because nobody is perfect.
Exactly.
Number 4, and I think this is my direct message to pastors.
Okay.
Let me help. Let me help.
Right.
Let me help. Give me your ear.
Right.
Listen, trust.
Right.
Let me help. Because the worst thing you could do is have a bunch of knowledge that you can't share or implement.
Yeah.
Because the person in the first 3 points doesn't trust you.
Right.
Doesn't listen to anything you have to say.
Yeah.
Appointed the wrong person. And you're stuck. You got a bag of goodies that you want to share. You got all the candy.
Yep.
But the person in front of you won't let you for whatever reason.
Right.
You can't get the ear
of
anyone. And now trust is not available. And now you feel stifled, like you're just holding on to something that you can't share.
Exactly. You're right. You're right about that, bro. You're right. And you do. You feel.
I could be so much more.
Exactly. That's definitely that's the vocals that come out of your mouth. That's where your heart is. It's like, man, we could be so much farther along if you would just kind of let your guard down. Let your guard down and know that I'm not here to hinder, but I'm here as a help. I'm here as a support system. You know, you pulled me into this position. You appointed me here. Now allow what God has deposited in me at the moment of that appointment. And I believe this, that God will begin to deposit the stuff that you need for that responsibility right in that moment, and begin to teach you how to become that cog that fits the wheel and does what it needs to do. But if I'm not allowed that, if I'm in that pastor that's like saying, I'm not doing that. Nope. Okay, let's table that. Let's table that. And I've been in many meetings. Let's table that. And that table never ever gets looked at again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just that's a personal thing. That is actually not even dealing with anything that's a hindrance. It's just like, we're not going to deal with that right now.
Right.
Let's table that.
Right. Point number 5 is something that I really appreciate with leaders, business people, businessmen, people I'm in business with, and just for me personally, but from a departmental standard, if you're like an AV leader in whatever department that you're in, is that I love when pastors do this. And I'm going to shout you out, like those of you who do it, we love this. Awesome. We love this. Clear direction with due dates.
Yeah.
Clear direction with a date attached to it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
If you ever want to make sure that something gets done, you give clear direction, because the word says make it plain.
Right.
Write the vision.
Right.
Make it plain.
Make it plain.
Clear direction. We're going to take a left at the light, and we're going to try to get there at noon.
That's good.
What happens is it's a picture that goes on in your mind where we can see the road.
Exactly.
And we can come up with so many ways to get to the destination.
Right.
At the appointed time.
Right.
Well, what happens is when you're dealing with creative people or people who are creative technically, what happens is we begin to see the different avenues and different ways that we can make it better from this clear direction.
Sure.
So the clear direction could be, we're going to paint the car red.
Right.
The creative person is, where are we going to paint the car at?
Right.
What kind of brush are we going to use?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be indoors or outdoors? Is it going to be spray paint?
Right.
How are we going to do it?
Right.
You know, how are we going to protect the glass, and how are we going to do this? Like, how long is it going to take to dry? So should we add a stripe to it? Do you think he wants a stripe to it? What if we add this? What if we did this? What if we changed the molding? What if we, you start thinking of different ways to make it better.
Exactly.
And your leader may say, no, don't do that, do this.
Right.
Because we got clear direction. Okay, okay, cool. Clear. What you said was cool, but that's not what I want. This is what I want. Right. Okay, cool. What we need is on the 15th. On the 15th.
Yeah. Yeah. As a creative man, it took me it's going to be a little longer, long time to fall in love with that. Sincerely, because our pastor used to do that all the time. Like, okay, this is what I wanted, da-da-da. And what I began to recognize is that creatives get distracted very easily. That's part of our issue. That's one of the things that's a strength, but it's also a weakness.
Oh, yellow bird, look at that.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You'd be like, squirrel, what? And I found that whenever he would do that, he would give my distractions boundaries. He'd give boundaries or give me blinders to a degree to not get tossed to and fro about all the things that I said, oh yeah. But I mean, and then, no, all that stuff gets I gotta finish this by this day. I gotta focus. And I think that that's very important, and I think that's an excellent thing, because now I love it. I love doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still growing, but I love it. Yeah.
I'm a
You are a stickler. Yes. Yes, you definitely are. And you know what? But you're my brother. And God knew, he knew what I needed as a brother could not have been me. No. I am not giving him again, no, because I know where that's going to go.
I am so wired that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I used to be. You think I'm bad? I used to be way worse because
Oh wow,
dude, it was no filter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I give you a great example. Great example. So when I lived in Harlem, I lived in a brownstone, and I had my studio in the brownstone.
Right.
If you were an artist that was working with me, meaning that if you were signed to me, and we were working on your project, if you showed up late, I would not open the door. You could be out there for 2-3 hours. I'll be in the crib, not opening the door, because I've moved on to something else.
Right.
Now, so I took that same attitude into the music business where people show up late all the time, but not my people. Like the people that came with me, we here to work. We here for it. But in the music, you get people like dude, I've been sitting in sessions waiting for an artist to show up that that a label brought me in to produce, and I'm there for 5 hours, 6 hours.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's $150 an hour. Like they just blowing like money out of their budget. I got my money.
Right. Exactly.
So, which leads me
That's
to
good,
this,
bro.
Which leads me to this last point.
Okay.
And this last point is so important. And it's 2 words. It's realistic budget. Realistic budget.
Right.
I was blessed to have a great mentor when it came to doing budgeting, a woman by the name of Reverend Joan S. Parrott, who was the executive minister at the First Baptist Church in Hampton, in Virginia, who whipped my behind.
That's what's up.
Every week on budgeting, on turning in my spreadsheets, on make sure I had reports.
Okay.
All of that structure that you that you suffer with,
yes,
came from her.
Wow.
This was for 3 years, every week. I had to turn in a report. I had to turn in a spreadsheet. I had to balance my budget. I had to itemize what was in my budget, what was I spending, what was left.
Wow.
This is every single week. It would be times I would be doing it the hour before the meeting, like straight cramming, like. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, why? But she taught me how to work smart, not hard. It means that
that's good.
You plan it out, but you be realistic about, not optimistic. That's one thing.
Right.
Realistic.
Right.
So, which just leads me to this, and I'll leave it up to you. The clear direction with due dates and a realistic budget. That means you're setting yourself up for a goal to be obtained.
Exactly. You know, the Bible tells us whoever plots out or steps out to build a house must first count the cost. That means that you got to look at what do I really have? Not what am I dreaming of? Not what I'm expecting of. Right. I remember one of my old mentors told me, he said, you never count money that hasn't come in.
He never lied.
He said, you never, ever He said, no, but I said, no. But he said he's gonna give me this. He said he's gonna do that. He said, you can't depend. He said, is that money in your pocket? Then you can't depend on it. Then you can't spend it. But right now, you're spending money you don't have. And a lot of times, as pastors and yet as men of faith, we say we're gonna do this by faith, but don't let your budget be by faith. Your budget has to be realistic. And then faith says, God, can you expand? The boy he actually had fishes and loaves. He wasn't thinking about a meal.
Right. He had something to work with.
Exactly. He gave that to Jesus, and Jesus expanded what he had. And I think that's something that we have to be absolutely realistic, man. Just be realistic. You're right. This is what I have. What can I do with what I have, God?
Right.
Or what can you do with what I have?
Right. A lot of times it's when you say that to someone, people start, especially the creative, technical people, we start thinking, how can we do that with this? What can we get? What do we have that we can repurpose? How can we do this? If I do this, so it's something in the children's sanctuary that we not use is in the corner. If I take that, put that here, then we could do this. Okay, we bring that out and test it. Okay, it works. Okay, great. You see how it sounds. Okay, good. How it looks. Okay, cool. So now we save $300. So we can take that $300. We can do this with this because now we can repurpose this and move this here.
So good.
It's you start thinking creatively.
Right.
Start thinking creatively. So if we go with trust, we go with listen, we go with putting the right person, we go with letting me help. If you go with the clear direction and the due dates, and we go with a realistic budget, we are now doing ministry at a whole other level.
Exactly.
So to the pastors out there that walk this out, salute.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because as technical, creative people, we need that.
Yeah.
And when we all work together, pulling in one direction, we're not doing it just for us.
Right.
There are lives and souls attached to the vision of the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just not for our self-gratification.
Exactly.
The vision that you've given the pastor that you charged us to implement is from you.
Exactly. Yeah.
This ain't just some foregone idea. No, it's from you, which means, like in Isaiah, my word shall not return unto me void.
Exactly.
That means it has a purpose. It will do what it's set to do.
Will accomplish it. That's right.
So if that's the case, and I'm part of that vision, like how empowering that makes you feel. Exactly. So take the time, literally take the time to encourage, come, shake a hand. It don't take too much. Hey, I see you doing a great job. Hey, listen, let me take you to lunch, or just something simple. Just you be surprised a little bit goes a long way.
It does.
You guys know the story I told about me buying the guys in the basement Burger King.
Yeah.
That little bit, that little $25 I would spend every week would bring me in $4,000.
Yeah.
So it's the little itty bitty things that you do.
It sure is.
What do you have to say, sir?
Yep. I think.
Let me go get our special guest. Hold on, let me go get our special guest while you talk.
This was an incredible teaching. I think that every pastor has to, take the position that I am going to be absolutely clear with where we are. I'm not gonna faith forget or I'm not gonna fabricate or fabricate what we have. I'm going to tell the truth, and we're going to say, well, this is what we have, and this is what we can do with it. And then you allow that creative.
Oh, look at here.
There go my bro. What? The brother was
I
on
was
a
going
bike
for
somewhere.
I was bike riding, boy. I was bike
He was
riding.
bike riding. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
back.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, there. How you doing there, Pastor Killer?
Doing good.
You know,
Doing good.
Critter told me, he said, I need you for that 49 seconds and go.
49 seconds.
49 seconds. He said, because all you said, you know.
Not 49 seconds.
He said, I talk too long, you know.
Yeah, 39 seconds.
39 seconds.
No, more like, for you, it'll be 29 seconds.
29.99. Boy, I said 29. You hear that, Mabel? Mabel back there somewhere. How you doing there, boy?
I'm doing well, sir. Doing well.
I was sitting in the back listening to the topic, you know.
Okay.
I felt that in my
That's what's up. That's good.
Shaka bucka. Brought it down in my Grizzlies.
In your Grizzlies?
In my Grizzle. You know, my nigga got a bad knee here, boy.
Okay. I feel you.
Felt it in my Grizzle.
My Grizzle?
In my Grizzle.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, he told me I'm going to do the 49 seconds and go on. You ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right.
He
told me I got only 5 questions. You know, I got a lot of questions I can really ask you, boy. Okay. Question number 1. You ready, boy?
Yes, sir.
If you had to pick one, just one, would you pick a foot ache or a toothache? Both of them things bad, boy.
Both of them bad.
Boy, you got that gout.
But a foot ache, both of them have a way to debilitate. But I think
you gotta pick one, boy.
A foot ache would be less than a toothache.
So tuffus, the tuffus.
Yes.
Boy said the tuffus. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yes, sir.
So, when you heat up your food, do you heat it up on the stove or you do it in the micro thing?
Depends on what it is I'm heating up.
Depends on what it is. Right. I got that micro thing. I don't like that damn micro.
Sometimes it turns your stuff to rubber. Eggs go green, all that, man. It don't always work, you know.
Yeah. Amen. The game. Amen.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Number 3, I think.
Number 3,
number 3.
Yes.
All right now. What's your favorite type of pie?
Wow.
That hard, huh, boy?
Apple.
That hard. You had to pick a whole lot there, huh, boy?
Yeah. I eat a lot of pie.
I could tell I wasn't going to say nothing, you know.
Hey, it's all right.
I wasn't going to say nothing. I said, boy,
okay.
that boy got a collection back there. Blueberry, apple, all kind of things right there, my blueberry.
I had to go through the annals in my mind there.
You know, quiche. You know about that quiche, boy.
I had some quiche now.
That quiche, my Lord, boy. See to the bathroom, what it do? That's what it do.
Yeah.
Give me the bloopers. Is it
yeah. The bubble guts. That's what
I call it. The blooper. Question number 4.
Yes, sir.
If you had to have a pick at a barbecue. Now we're talking about that barbecue, boy.
Yeah, it's coming up
on that grill, boy, and let that thing just cook.
Woo!
Would you pick barbecue chicken, ribs, or steak?
Oh man, that's a
going from
that's a rough
barbecue.
You know, I think for safety, steak.
Why you pick steak, boy? I don't know why you steak.
Because if the person on the grill don't really know what they're doing, they can kill you with that chicken, boy. They put you under with that chicken.
You get more than the bloopity bloop.
Hello.
You get more than the bloopity bloop.
You be leaving.
Like I'm on my bike riding.
Exactly. It's funny. I went to you'll enjoy this. I went to a barbecue with someone, I ain't gonna mention their name, and they had some other groups on the griller, and went to bite into that food, and I was like, that thing's still squeaking.
He was like, whoa, Lord. Come stand by me.
Exactly.
I
I was like, you need a
bubble
microwave
guts.
right now.
I got the bubble guts. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Well,
yeah, they gotta cook that right.
question number 5
Number
is a deep
5.
question.
Number
It's a
5.
deep
Number
question.
5.
It's a
Number
deep
5.
question. A deep question. I want to know, and the world want to know it large.
Okay.
What was the biggest lesson you learned in 2020?
The biggest
Large in charge. Supersized question there, boy. Big
biggest
task.
lesson I learned in 2020.
Bigger question.
Wow. That's a huge one. The biggest lesson I believe I learned in 2020
right?
was love those closest to you while you have them. I think that was for me the largest lesson, to really pour into them now. You know what I'm saying? I went to a bunch of funerals during 2020. I saw a lot of flowers, but I wondered if those same amount of bouquets were sitting on the desk while those people were alive.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? So so it woke me up to, you know what, pour into who's with you right now. Love on them right now.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. What book is that chapter in?
What book is that?
What book is that chapter in, boy?
The chapter.
You preaching, boy. You preaching that word, boy. You a real man of God. Look at you there.
Yes,
it's glowing. They got that light in the back. The angel, the Gabriel just rested on you, boy. Gabriel back there, like, look at my boy right there. Preaching from the book of the book of the chapter.
Yes,
book
sir.
Of the chapter.
Yes, sir.
All right, now that's my 30 seconds. I'm gone.
Yes, sir.
I want to, I love you. I love you guys have me. Next time you gotta have friends up here. That'd be kind of hard.
That might be difficult.
He just split me like an amoeba. Y'all know what amoeba. I'm getting the heck out of here. I'll see y'all later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bless you. That man is funny. Oh my gosh. That man is funny. But he's blessed too. The blessing.
Pastor Brown crazy, man. Pastor Brown crazy, man.
Bruh. The brother came right off the street, man.
He said chapter in the book. Dude said, what chapter in the book you from?
Exactly. I was like, okay. I feel you.
Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this. Please share, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Go to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button.
Yes, please.
And do like we always say. Keep God first in everything you do. And we see you next time on the Church Sound Podcast.
God bless you.
Every service, they are there. Every conference, they are there. Trustworthy, professional, and faithful. They're the first to arrive and the last to leave. They are our essential workers. Hey, Pastor, if this does not describe your media team, then we can help. If you want your team to rise to the occasion, let us train your team. Partner with Invisible Ministry. Do you want to partner with IVM? Come on and partner up. You can contact us at 757-768-5136. We do new installations and upgrade existing equipment. No church too small, no church too big. Give us a call for a consultation at 757-768-5136.